Hello, lovely people. Now, it's just occurred to me to check my audio. It is working, which is great. I wanted to say hello and welcome you to this full site template demo. And yeah, we're going to get straight into this. For those that don't know me already, my name is Bree Boucher. I have designed this full funnel suite that helps you build out your summit event and publish it and get it all launched through Lovable. So, this is for my beautiful people who have already signed up. But if you're watching this in the live stream over on YouTube as well, then this is also for you to get a bit of a peek and a demo of what actually happens and how it all works in case you want to sign up as well. Okay, so I'm going to say start sharing my screen and I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. If there's any questions that come in throughout this live stream, then I will try and respond to them as I go. I'll check in every now and then. And outside of that, there's a opportunity for Q&A at the very end as well. So how long this will take is yet to be determined. I think it will be anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Hey, Amy, thanks for joining. Yeah, anyway from half an hour to an hour will be um, kind of the process to actually get it all set up, get all the technical stuff set up. And then I'll show you a little bit of a demo around the customizations that you can make and then open up for conversation. So I don't want this to go for like hours and hours on end, but I want to make sure we cover this in full so that this becomes the tutorial and the step-by-step process for the people that have purchased. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm going to start sharing my screen and we're going to get into it. All right, so what you should see now on your screen is a full access to the demo that I'm going to be showing you through. And we're going to be working with a real life summit. So I noticed that Amy is here with us. So we're actually going to be using Amy's summit as a guide here to set this all up and show you, yeah, how it all kind of can play out. I'm going to be working through the template setup guide that is part of this template that you've purchased. So what you can see right now, I've hidden the sidebar panel, which normally is over here. And that's where the content is lovable. And what you can see right now is the index page, also known as the registration page. And in the template, you have all of these pages set up. If you've purchased the bundle extension pack, you'll actually get a separate template, which will have additional pages set up for the bundle process. Just if you were curious how it work, we're going to have two separate templates, one just for summits, the base kind of kit, and then the extension pack is the kit, the base kit plus the additional pages in one. So if you're wanting to, just host a summit, you can just use this template. If you're wanting to host a summit with a full-on bundle, then you can use the bundle template. Or if you're wanting to just host a bundle, then you use the bundle template. All right, so just getting that out of the way. But what I'm actually showing you through is the setup guide. And I've opened it up in preview here so that I can work through it separately whilst also showing you over here what it's actually looking like as well. So what actually is happening on this screen. So we're going to be kind of focusing on the individual pages that we're going to be working through. And the two main pages that you'll see a lot this today is the setup guide and the brand configuration page. So I'll open that up. I'll show you through that. And yeah, and then walk you through each page in a moment as well. So we've already talked, Amy and I, about the branding that suits her the best. So there is four separate themes you can actually pre-select from, and all have different color schemes and different font combinations. Um, so you can use these as your base, or you can completely customize your brand from here. So we also have the background type for like the way you want this to display. So currently I have set it up to show just the solid color, but we're going to go with a background image, and I'll show you what that looks like with a parallax image. So that's when the image stays the same and the screen scrolls behind it. And we do have some hex codes to use here as well. So I'll use those, but you can see the base color scheme as well underneath that. There's a little bit of a preview of what the pages will look like. So you can make some changes if you need to the opacity, to the text, to the things like the borders around the boxes, and make some like larger scale adjustments here if you want to just make some quick ones. Each page in this setup wizard, I guess, in this brand configuration wizard, has some AI generated prompts as well. And you'll notice that in the setup guide as well as we go forward, there are also AI prompts. Okay. So that just helps you to, I guess, troubleshoot certain things and action certain things. But for the most part, a lot of what you'll be able to do is um, through the brand configuration setup, because it means that you don't have to then do lots of like prompting with Lovable about what to do and what to change for, the event that you're working on. Just going to move really quickly this tab to a new window so I can check in and see if there's any questions at the same time as this um, demo that I'm doing, just in case. All right. So why don't we get started? And I'm just going to just have my notes here and make sure that I'm going through everything that I want to do. If there's any questions at this point before I get stuck into this, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to work through and show you how everything is working. So let's go back to our setup stage, the guide. So as you'll see here, we have like the setup progress, sorry. So as I tick things off, that will show the progress bar here. So you can always see where you're up to. You can come back to this and it will save for your usage. There's a couple of quick resource links. So that goes to our brand config page that I was just doing here. The Supabase dashboard, so the login for Supabase, and Airtable API setup, so creating your tokens. So for this demo, I'm actually going to use a combination of my data and Amy's information, so that you can see what happens once we've already set up with Supabase. I'll be able to show you some things on screen, and other things I'll have to go behind screen because I don't want to share, too much sensitive information. But where I can, I will show you how we set up things like the Supabase accounts and systems, like the actual databases, and same with the token setup. There are additional resources like help docs that you can access, and additionally, the template that perhaps you don't see this at the moment, but when we come out with another version, you'll see a place to actually submit a support ticket. So if you have any like problems as you're going through, you can go through this support ticket, and I will help you, troubleshoot what's going on as well. Okay, I feel like that's enough kind of like preamble and getting you into, excuse me, into it. So let's get going, right? Okay, so First off, we needed to gather our assets and access to certain things, decide on a color palette and theme for the event. We need to get our logos together, some high-res background image for the actual design. And we need to figure out what the summit dates and time zone are, and you'll see exactly why I'm asking for that now. Define the inclusions for the all access pass and the price. We need to have our Supabase account login ready. We need to retrieve our Airtable token and base ID and get our ESP set up as well, which for me is MailerLite. So I'm going to actually go ahead and get MailerLite set up on the page here as well. So I get that, oh, not mail media, MailerLite, this one. There we go. So there are which could help you. So if you're like wanting to, have a conversation with Lovable instead of doing it with ChatGPT, you can do this here. But basically, most of the time, what you'll see in these prompts are things that will help you troubleshoot and get things working for you. All right, so let's go ahead. I have my notes here from Amy and the things that we have already collaborated on and she's gathered for me. So we've chosen the theme Soft Blush. So let's go here. We have Soft Blush. And we're going to go with a parallax image just so you can see that. And I'll also show you the background image version in case we want to make a decision. And Amy can let me know which one she prefers. So first off, we're going to upload the image. So we have the image background here, the background image, I should say. So that's actually going to kind of save it in the local file. Once we actually set up our Supabase account and link it together, we will want to make sure that these files are going to be uploaded. So I'm showing you this just so you can see it. But as we go forward, there's things like logo uploads, there's, your information as the host, all that sort of stuff. And as you can see here, that image file didn't save because I didn't actually tell it to save down the bottom here. So when we are going through and I guess putting in the base information, we want to do certain things up to a point, and then we're going to need to actually have Supabase connected and set up. So I just want to make sure that you know about that. And we will have to go into our settings here and set up our integrations, which I just realized I don't have Supabase set up here. So I wonder if that's because I published this already. So let me just problem shoot this while I'm doing this right now, because normally we have our Supabase icon. And in settings, we should have the ability to integrate to that. So let me just see if there's anything that I can do right now. And this is the sort of things that I thought would happen as we go forward. And I think it's really important to sort of show you these as well, because when we are cast these sorts of things, you need to know what to do, right? And so because I published this page, I think because I published it before I set up the Supabase, we have overridden the need for that as an integration. But I can probably have a conversation with Lovable here and say, I need to set up Supabase, help me out. And then we'll see how we go. So we can figure this out in a minute, but it's just something that I noticed. So I wanted to flag that as I'm dealing with this. But as you'll see in the checklist, we are prompted to get our integration set up as well. Oh gosh, move. just had my mouse not move. So we have the ability to set up a Supabase at this point, okay? So we're just gathering all of this information, which, as I said before, I already have here. And then we will go through and do the next step. So I have all of this. I have my Supabase login because it's mine, but you've got to create your own account if you haven't already at this point. We're going to figure out this token later as well. So if you don't have that, then we can kind of come back to that. And then your email service provider. Okay, so let's tick that off. We've gathered all of that. Then we're going to preload some sample content. So this would be just so you can see how it works. But if you have already started capturing information from your summit, like speakers and yeah, all of that kind of information that you're going to be wanting to display, then you can obviously set that up and use that. But for the benefit of today, we're going to use this demo or the template that I've pre-created for you, and you'll have access to this in your documentation. So all of these people are demos and or dummy information, and this will populate through. Okay, so we will actually have access to this, and I'll go through that in a minute. Well, not in a minute, in a few minutes, how this will all work. So we've already preloaded with some sample content. We have some sessions from the in the base. We have some for freebies and video embeds. So let me just check if we have our embed yet in here for the demo purpose. There's a lot in here that you can be capturing. Where is it? There we go. Okay, it's empty. So I'm going to go ahead and just off screen, I'm going to pull up my Airtable base that I'm using, my in real life one, and pull up the piece of demo code that we can use, and you can see how that will work in reality. All right, so let's go with July. All right, so now what I'm going to pop in here is the iframe code for a particular episode that I have published in my Hello Audio feed. So I'm calling it Hello Audio Embed, but if you're going to be embedding videos, then you would use like the iframe for that, and you would just copy it here. And basically this information will open up a embed in the template when we go ahead and publish it. Because these are empty, we're going to have like a placeholder version for these as well. So I might show you a couple of, what you can see in reality, and then what we can see as a, dummy sort of placeholder. So we have that, and then we can go from there. So this is just saying open all key pages to verify they render without errors. So basically what we're saying here is just go through each of these and just check there's no like problems with the template. So each of the pages are fully populated with the dummy information or the base information, and you will then customize each of these sections. So all of that looks good. We have our thank you page. We'll load that up. Yep, everything's there. We have privacy policy and terms. Now, these are just basic ones that you can update within this this website, this microsite, I guess. But you can also, instead of using these, you can link to your own terms and conditions and your own policies as well. Setup guide. We know that the waitlist page, let's jump to that one. good. Oh, wait, there's a thank you page. Awesome. All right, dashboard. This is where the most of the data that I was just talking about would populate into. So just checking that these are all going to pop down good, and then we have all that access. Day one. So this is already redirecting because of the way I've set up the system, which is good. Like we haven't set it to be an like open for a specific date and time. So we want to go through and check that. And then we're going to go through to the speakers embed. So this would be if you're choosing to embed your um, speakers on a different page. So if you choose not to go ahead and use this homepage, and you want to design that on a separate landing page software, website software, whatever, then you can use the, like, so instead of it populating here based on this design, you can rebuild this on your own platform and grab the speakers embed. Now, something that I just noticed in this, so when I send out the next version, which will probably be after today, because I've published the first version, and now that I'm doing this demo, I'll probably find a few things that I want to go ahead and make adjustments to. So I noticed that this page has the footer, and with footer, we just want this to be a base kind of like section which has all the speakers preloaded. And yeah, and this doesn't, we don't want this because when it loads as an embed on your page, we just want the the speaker section. We don't want that. So just noting that for myself later as well. But otherwise, we are good to go. And again, um, if you needed to use this. And we've got this for you to use in Lovable, but if you want to take it out, copy it, and talk to ChatGPT, then you certainly can. But I wanted to keep as much of the things happening within Lovable rather than outside of it. Okay, so we're good now. Let's get into doing some like initial brand config and making sure that things are set up as much as we can before we set up our Supabase connection. And we probably that issue that I've identified. All right, just making sure there's no questions as I go through. Okay, so let's configure your brand, right? So we're going to open up this page, which we already have. And we're going to enter in our event name and tagline. We're going to input the hex codes or choose a palette. So we've got some information there. So let's go ahead and grab that hex code because we do have like the default, information here, but let's choose these as our primary colors because that's what Amy has in her brand. Oh, just want to make sure I grab the hex as well. The hash, I should say. And then we can see how it works. So we've got light pink here as the accent color, which may or may not work in the site. And we have this, additional color here in brown as another option. So the summit name, let's see what we've called it. She gave that to me and I haven't written it down, of course. Where is it? I don't think I've written it. No. Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to pull that up in my emails. Or was it Foxer? Let's see what we've got. And Amy, if you want to jump into the chat, if you might make it quicker, um, as well. Okay, let's see if I have it in. Yeah, I think it's in the Voxer chat rather than in here. Adapt and thrive. Thank you. I knew it was something. Yeah, I knew it. I just couldn't remember. Beautiful and tagline. Did we have that already? Had you given that to me? I can't remember now. Let's have a look in my in our conversation. Okay, I don't know that we got the. Yeah, I don't think we have it. Okay, so let's just keep it align your business with soul unless you want to drop a tagline in here. That's totally fine. We're going to upload the logo later, like with the things changing and being saved in Supabase. But we can see now the colors that have been populated here. What I'm going to do really quickly is upload that image again, the background image, so we can see how it looks in the preview. And so what we can see now is those color schemes have come through and we can see how much we need to have the opacity. So I'm going to keep it at 80 and see how that works. And I'm going to hit and save that. And Amy's just given me a quick little tagline. So I'm going to go ahead and update that as well. And we can see where that populates. Perfect. Thanks, Amy. Save configuration. So as I was saying before, this is saving on my like local storage or there's like a particular coding name for it. So it'll save, but we want to make sure that everything is kind of like populating properly in the actual site. So let's bring up now, have a look at how the site looks now. Because you remember we saw with just the basic background, now we have that beautiful image she supplied as a parallax image behind here. So you can see the color scheme. So obviously we need to go ahead and change the information here. But otherwise the base kind of content is here, right? We haven't changed any of that. We haven't linked up the speakers yet. And yeah, everything else is here, okay? So the color scheme is working beautifully. And let's go back to brand config. So we've done brand config, we've changed the name and tagline, sorry. We've changed the hex codes and chosen a theme. We will upload the logo and favicon later, but we can do it again. We can do it now as well, just so you can see. So let's choose, yeah, let's go with this one, the monogram one. There we go. And so you can see the logo here, is storing it, getting it ready to be stored in Supabase. Okay, I think that's saved. Let's go over here and see if it's populated. Yeah, I think you had given us the tagline before. Okay, so that's huge. So that means I'm going to need to talk to ChatGPT to make that. And the reason it is massive is because in the design, I told it to like keep the original size of the file. So this is a large graphic, as you would have seen when I went to upload it. I think it's 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, which is a large file. And that's amazing, but not so great for a website. So we're going to just really quickly click to change and just see what, maybe this one would work nicer. Let's see if that's any smaller. And if it's not, that's cool. We can just make a note that we want to have a smaller image for our logo. Let's have a look. Perfect. Okay, so that's actually not too bad. Now, the default state for, and I'm going to need to say Adapt and Thrive Summit here, noticing that. So the default state for the logo is to hover. And if you hate that, if you like think that's annoying, you can make that change in the panel over here to have a conversation and say, just have that state static, like stay static. All right, and so the template has like little sparkles and stuff in it, as you'll see here and here, like icons, sorry, logo, what are they called? Emojis and stuff used. So if you hate that, if you don't love it, then you just make those changes across the board. You would just say, on these pages, this happens. Can we make that change? So Amy can let me know whether she wants to keep those or not, and I can show that in a moment as I go through and like make some of those additional customizations. But as we can see here in the brand config, we just need to change the title to Summit, add Summit in there. Adapt and Thrive Summit. Cool. And then, okay, we like this, the sparkles. Good. I love that. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so let's save that config again. And let's go back here and see what else. So we've done that first step. All works. So the validation is the brand colors apply site-wide. Well, we know that that's going to happen. We can double check that as we go through, but each page will populate that. And just so you know, certain pages have been set up with the parallax image and others have set up so that they don't present, so that it's like not as like it's a bit more flat. And so the ones that are set up like that, we have our speakers embed, we have that image, background image on there. So whether it's just the static background image or the parallax, I should say, see how it's white still. So that's what you want. You want that to stay kind of separate, right? And the terms and privacy policy, we don't want that on there too. But you might want it on your thank you page because that is like a nice background and it's cohesive and it stays like that. So that's really pretty. Beautiful. So let me go back to brand config and I'll just really quickly show you what that looks like if we chose the background image as static rather than parallax. So going ahead with background image here, let's have to just choose that file again and save. And now if we go to the home page again, you will see only sections have the background image. So the hero part has it, but the rest of the page sections are like, I guess, base background colors, based on your theme that you've selected. Okay. So I went with the hero and the frequently asked questions. But if you want to have that background image somewhere else in here, you would just say, okay, I like, the background image in certain parts of the site. Maybe say put it under the summit schedule section. But Amy's just said in the comments that she likes the parallax, so we'll go back to that. And I like that too. I think that's really nice flow-wise. But sometimes people don't love it, right? So the option's there. Back here, open and save. Cool. All right. So let's see what else we need to do. So we've done all of that. Theme is consistent across pages. We will come back and upload the logo again when we're to make sure it comes through if it hasn't saved. Review template content. So we're going to review the 3-day event structure, check sample speaker profiles and all access page. Understand the timer mode, so I'll show you that in a moment, and review the dashboard and set up documentation. So reviewing the 3-day event structure. So as I was saying before, we have our daily 3 kind of pages, and then we have our dashboard. So the dashboard is the all access pass. So we need to change some content here. So I've got a bio, I've got an image, and all that sort of stuff. We need to also our links here as well are going where we want them to. And then in settings, we're going to choose whether we're going to have an evergreen. So like constantly, when someone joins your summit, they can then access the page for the time duration that they're allowed to have, and then it expires kind of thing. So that's what you would use if you're going to, run the event on Evergreen, so that, anytime one new person joins, they get that. Most of the cases will be live, and so that's how we've set those up. But if you want to go with Evergreen, you can. So your dashboard's available for however many days. If it's like an all access pass, then it's going to be, maybe 30 days or 180, like whatever time frame that you want to give them by default. And yeah, and then the daily pages, how long you get access to. But let's go back to our normal case. We will use a live scheduled dates. So we have our time zone that I'm looking for here is in America. Let's just choose New York because it's an Eastern time zone. And the dashboard start. So we now just need to go through and change when things become available. So dashboard start is when the event starts as well, because you can have people access the dashboard earlier, and this isn't really necessarily set up to stop people from accessing it. You can have like the dashboard start date be the date that it opens. So you could have like this isn't how it's set up, but you could tell Lovable, because of the way this is set up. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically the dashboard is always open, but you could have like almost like a countdown overlay that says it's not open, and like it's all kind of hidden behind it. If you're wanting to show, this to have people sign up for the dashboard and get access to the page straight away, and then they can kind of like bookmark that. So you can use the dashboard start for that reason. But most of the time, the dates that we're really interested in is the end dates, because that's when we are going to be expiring pages. And the code is referencing these dates here. All right, so let's go back to this dashboard start date. Let's go to January next year. And the dates are 26th to the 30th. 6. And let's start it from 12 a.m. and it ends January 30th at, actually, hang on. It goes, the expiry for the dashboard, the all access pass, ends on the 1st of April, sorry. So we're going to say April 1st at 12 a.m. And then our day starts, so same as here before, it was 26th of Jan. We're going to start it from 12 a.m. And then the first date, yeah, so 24 hours access pass. 12 a.m. And then we go to the next one. So you can see what we're doing here, right? We're going ahead and making sure that the expiry is doing what we want it to do. So we're just gonna make this a bit quicker. So 28, 1, 26. Oh, okay, 2026, 12 a.m. Now, I've obviously just realized that this is set up as a 3-day summit as by default, but Amy's got a 5-day event. For the demo, we're going to just pretend it's a 3-day event, okay? Just for this demo. But if this is the case for you, this is another really great reason why we do these demos is to give you these sort of examples. If this happens for you and you're like, oh, I actually want to have like a 4-day or a 5-day event, then what you need to do is chat with Lovable and let them know that you need to duplicate the daily pages. So you need to have 2 more pages added, day 4 and day 5. You also need to let it know to add those to the dashboard. So remember, we have the dashboard I'll open it up in a different page in a second and show you. We have our dashboard. Let me do it here, actually. And that has like the drop down for each day's here. So we need to tell it to also make sure that those pages are listed there as well. And then you're good to go. Then you've got a 5-day event. The only other thing you'll need to do here is probably tell it to also add the dates, the day 4 and 5 into the brand config. So you can update it that way, or you can just manually tell Lovable, this is the start and end date for each of these. So expire on this. And when we go to, in a minute, I'll show you where the links, like how it links to each page. And then we need to tell it, okay, expire after day 1 goes to this page. Day 2 goes to this page, 3, 4, 5, and where you want it to actually expire to, like where we're going to redirect the pages to. Okay, does that make sense? Let's do this though, as if it's a 3-day event. So just for myself, I don't need to change anything else in here, but I'm just noting here, I'm going to make a comment, 3 days for demo example. Okay. So that's that. You need to go ahead and change your contact information here. Email. So not sure they had that from Amy, which is cool. I don't need it. I just, you want to change your support email and you want to change your reply to email. So that's just, within the template itself where things are going to happen. So not super important, but it's there for you. So let's save that information so we don't lose it. And then we're going to go to content. So we have sure. And we'll just keep it business coach. I don't think that's exactly what did you say in your bio? Maybe we say agency founder for now. Let's change the bio. We're going to change the host image, the URL, which you gave me your website. So there we go. We will go with the homepage though for this. Done. And then image. Oh, image here. We have Amy's headshot. Open. That should save. There we go. All right, let's save that. And then the links. Okay, so what this is, as I was saying before, what this is doing is showing you the redirect where things are going and the logical kind of expiry page logic. So we have for the waitlist, once they've signed up for the waitlist, it goes to the waitlist thank you page. This is only if you want it to go somewhere else. Like if you're like, cool, but I don't want it to go to the template that you've created here. I want it to go somewhere else. So for example, you're building certain elements on different checkout pages, different checkout sites and stuff like that. So you have the option here, but otherwise it's going to have this as the default. So we have our waitlist thank you. Registration goes to the thank you all access pass page, like upsell. So that's the thank you page here. Day one goes to the next day, aka day two, day three. And on the final day, aka day three, it goes to the thank you page. The reason I have that is because that's the all upsell page. So that means that when someone, gets the final day, day three or day five, whatever it is, they we want it to redirect to the option for them to purchase the all access pass if they've run out of time, right? And so that's the logic there. But if you want to change that to a different site or link, then you can. The dashboard to external links. So on the dashboard, there is a like what happens when it expires. It needs to know. So if you don't really want it to ever expire, again, you can tell Lovable, let's not expire that page. It's going to be open, because you don't have a deadline for your dashboard, your all access pass, access to certain things. But if you do, then you're going to need to have it go somewhere afterwards, right? Otherwise, it's just going to be forever open. So we're going to then put that as the website for Amy. We're going to have it go to her homepage, but she could have that as a different one as well. And then we're just going to pop that there as well. Now, down the bottom of every page, I don't think, yeah, we've got in the footer, we have our website here and we have our like icons for social media. So
it's 10:50 a.m. It's time to stand up and stretch.
Let's go to Amy's Instagram. As I'm being prompted to have a break, we're going to ignore that and change the Instagram there. If because she has a few here, I noticed. Let's go with Facebook as well. You can see here we have oh, we don't need that now. We have YouTube and Pinterest. Now, I don't think Pinterest is an option here, so I'll add that in, making a note to add in Pinterest as another media link. We have Threads and we have TikTok. Currently, I don't have like the special icon for those set up, but that will probably come in future versions of this. Likewise, the Pinterest will come as a future version. But let's just do that for now, because then that will pop up here, and then that website should also populate to here as well. So we save. Now, I don't think it'll come immediately, but it's going to show up in another page from memory when I was doing this previously. Okay, because it wants you to like preview it and check as well. Okay. So we're going to go back to our setup config, setup guide, and see what else I was meant to do at this stage. Okay, because I paneled off this, I lost the things that I was working on. So I will make sure that that is also something that's saved in your local storage. So that will be an additional thing that I'll make upgrade in the next upgrade. It's not like a required thing, but it's a nice to have thing, right? We want to know where we're up to if we navigate off. Okay, so we've reviewed the day event structure. We've gone through and checked sample profiles. We haven't done that, have we? Not really. The sample profiles. So right now, let's see if this will change. Yeah, so there we go. We can see the access expires now in 167 days because I changed that in the config. Um, and right now we have like the default dummy information because we haven't connected to Airtable. So just looking at like how it's set up. Again, these are things that you can go ahead and change. Like if, this is the placeholder for the audio. When it's a video, you would have like a placeholder for that. Like it would be a video embed instead. And right now it's showing, audio player powered by Hello Audio with, the link to Hello Audio, and you would then change that to your own affiliate link. But if you're using a different player, like a video player, or if you're just going to use YouTube, then I would just remove that section. And again, anytime you want to make any changes, you just tell Lovable, remove this from this page or remove this across the board, and then it's done, kind of thing. It changes the code. But yeah, once this is all connected, we'll see some links and stuff for certain things like the gift. And the way the template has been built is using it as the All Access Pass has an implementation week, but you can retitle that to be like a bonus bundle or something like that. It's just the way I've presented it for myself, and the template is as a implementation week after the summit. And certain people, have opted in to be part of the implementation workshop or week, and others haven't. And so that will reflect in these examples. Okay, so we're good with that. I think we're good with that now, right? So let's go into our integrations. So a lot of time spent on the branding, but you can kind of play with that at home as well and see how it changes. So let's get set up with Supabase, and this will be the big test for today to see if I will be able to add Supabase after the fact. All right, so this is something interesting. I don't know why it did this because um, I didn't ask it to tell me a review. Oh, no, that's not true. I did ask. I did say review security. My apologies. So I did actually ask it to do this, which is good. Like this tells us what we need to fix in certain things. So we don't have the Supabase set up. So that's, why we need to go ahead and fix that. But let's ignore that for right now because it's not what we're talking about. So what I need to do is tell Lovable to connect to Supabase. I've published this site, but I have to connect to Supabase now and populate the data there. Can you help me do that? And this one is actually a chat opportunity rather than a like fix it for me. So I'm going to choose chat and I'm having a conversation. It's much like what we do with Lovable, with ChatGPT, sorry. So it's going to do some stuff and take some time to answer that. It's going through and like reading the files. Potentially what I might need to do is for the benefit of today is not set up the Supabase, and I'll record a separate video on how to do that with another demo, just to kind of keep this moving forward because this will all work as it is. The only thing that it might, pull up for us as an issue is keeping the memory of certain things, like the images and stuff. It might forget that. Um, the way I've designed the template is when someone goes ahead and submits, their information in the registration page or the waitlist page, it's also meant to push it out to Supabase as a backup, as well as pushing it straight to your email service provider. So it might have some issues when I test it, but I have tested it before and it went through the flow. So I think it'll be okay. Um, so we'll just let it do some thinking. While that's happening, I'll walk through. So normally we're going to have a little button up to the side here next to the GitHub icon. There's normally a green one, and my understanding is because I published it, it's not there anymore. So that's really interesting and something to keep in mind. Don't publish your pages until you're ready to actually publish it. I did that so that we could make sure that the affiliate link that Amy set up for us was going to work. So that's why that happened. If you're curious, like, why did you publish it? That's the reason. So we're going to create and connect the Supabase project and wait for the connected status. So yeah, if I have to, I will record a separate video just for that section, and we can kind of resolve that later. But what I might do in my background, see what I can share with you. I'm going to log in. What am I? Okay. Supabase. I think that's the one I need. I'm so used to using like Google to log into stuff. So it's like, why do I have to log in with a separate username and password? So I'm just waiting for that to sign in if that is going to work. Okay, that's the wrong login, apparently. This one, maybe. Okay, that's it. Where are we? Okay, so let's see what I should normally get a notification that it was finished thinking, but that's all good. Let's get you fully connected to Supabase and have the app reading, writing real data. Below is a clear plan, sorry, that covers connection, schema, storage, edge functions, secrets, wiring the front end, and quick validation. I'll implement everything for you once you approve. So basically what happens is, especially when you do a chat like this, it will consider what you are like wanting to do and give you a project plan, which you can then go ahead and just read through and see, and then go implement the plan. So I'm just going to really quickly see what it's saying. Now, you don't need to know any of this information, and for the most part, I don't know what it's talking about. The things that you will note that will come up a few times is edge functions, secrets, and schema. So schema is like the code of all of the way it's being displayed. Probably not the best explanation, but that's my interpretation. Edge functions is basically when you're asking Supabase to do stuff, and you might notice that happen in your testing and you're playing around with this. And secrets is where you save things like API keys and stuff. So Supabase is definitely recommended as something that you want to have involved, and I'm just going to skim through all of this and assume it's knowing what it's doing. There's lots of stages. We're up to step five. You can see all of the things it wants to make set up and stuff. I think, was there anything about, so it creates like buckets for the brand assets. Um, so you know, when I was talking about the logos and all that sort of stuff, it wants to store that for you rather than using like your local storage to save that, which is important because then it saves throughout like the whole design and it doesn't need to, you know, be connected to your local storage. Um, what else? Awesome. Now, here's some information on how like Supabase works. So it will generally also talk you through certain things if you need, but let's just go with implement the plan, okay? And see if it will help me do this even though I published it. What else were we going to work on? While it's doing that, so this is the like we need to connect Supabase and then we need to actually tell it or make sure that it's going to do things. Now, in this instance, because I said like this is my problem, I need you to fix it, it knows what it needs to do and it's going to have things like the creating tables for waitlist subscribers, registration subscribers, all that sort of stuff. The security stuff is going to be done for you. But in case it doesn't, you can always use these prompts, or in case you're not sure if it's going to do it, use these prompts to make sure it does it for you. And then, you know, it can be all sorted out, right? So the tables you're creating here are the ones in Supabase, okay? And again, I don't know this, I don't know how this all works. Like I'm definitely vibe coding here. I am not not a coder, not a, what do they call them? A developer or a systems, you know, person in this way. I am learning this through Lovable. So, yeah, it's doing stuff for me here while we're talking. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and integrate with Airtable. So while that's all happening, why don't we go in and work on Airtable in the background? So what I need to do is I'm going to also open up Airtable here separately because I need to get into my, actually, no. I don't need to do it there. I can do it from here. Okay, back here. So, in here, when you click on this button on this API setup, you're going to be able to set up your own API key. We're calling it a personal access token now in Airtable. It's essentially an Airtable API key. It's just the way they do these now. So I'm going to call this lovable demo. Ooh, lovable, lovable demo, just so I can keep it separate. The scopes are data records reads. We want it to read the information. We don't necessarily need it to write or read the comments or write into comments. We want it to read the information. And then we also want it to read the schema. It's potentially just this that you need, but I'm adding this in just in case. I don't know if it's necessary. It's probably just the schema, but just in case, do both. And then we're going to add in a base that we want it to talk to. So we're going to tell it to talk to the basic one, the template that I've created for you. And we're going to hit create token. I'm going to pull this up and grab this. I'm going to pop it somewhere safe, like it says. I'm going to where should I save this? I would normally put this in my notes, but that's probably going to take me off into a different panel, which it did. All right, let me go back. Where are we? Which page am I on? Here we go. Okay. So I need to just pop it into my like notepad. So wherever you keep, your information, if you are on a Mac, we're gonna then pop it in there. So I'm just gonna write a note, an API key. This is the thing that I was saying we want to put into one of the things we want to put into Supabase once it's set up. All right, so that's done. It will never be available for me to access again. So if you don't save it and put it somewhere else to be able to copy and paste from, you're going to have to redo this. You would have to like, you know, recreate the token. So you would regenerate the token in that instance. Sorry, in the demo one. Cool. So that's it. We are prepared for that part at least. So we copy the provided Airtable base to your account. You already have that. I've created the template and we're going to retrieve that token, did it, and the base ID. It's all sort of connected and we're going to connect that in Supabase. Now, let's see what it's done here. Okay, we have the notification that we've sorted. Plan. I'll write the front end of your Supabase project route, speakers waitlist, changes made, set Supabase URL in template config, and enable waitlist function auth, switched speakers hooks to fetch. Yep. Add secrets. I need to just check that we have it set up because as I said before, it's not an integration. So I don't try, it's like when ChatGPT is like, yeah, I've done this for you. I'm going to work on this for you. Has it actually, has it actually created like the connections? I now need to integrate with Supabase. But now it's published, but as this is an already published site, I don't see it on my integrations list as an option. Can you help? Again, that's a chat, not a prompt to do an action. And we shall see what she says. If, again, as I said before, if it doesn't let me figure this out, then I will just, do another video and work on it another time with you guys. So we need to map the API key. For Airtable because while it's doing this, while it's thinking, I can't do anything else. But we can keep moving forward on that. And next step, absolutely happy to help connect the published site to Supabase. First, we need to find where the Supabase, to open your project in the Lovable editor. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Click on OK. If you don't see it, make sure you're in the project. Yeah. Hard refresh the editor. Okay. Click the project name, top left, settings, integration to see if it's already connected. If this project is a remix or was transferred, you may need to reconnect Supabase from your account. If none of the above works, I can still proceed by guiding you through a manual setup. And we can circle back to level integration after. See, this project already references Supabase project. Connect to your existing project. Yeah, we don't have that. Create and connect a new Supabase project. Recommended if you don't have the one above, which we don't in the green flow, choose new project. We don't have that as an option. If the green Supabase button is still missing, I'll guide you through manual setup in the Supabase dashboard. Create a Supabase project and copy the URL anon key. I update that. Config. All right, let's pause that and I will do this separately. I will record myself going through that another time because you might need it. But when I record again, I'm going to record the usual process, which is when you go ahead and set up your Supabase from the start. So what we need to now do, I'm just going to say, where are we? Okay, thanks. We'll pause on the Supabase integration for now because now this might have an issue with the Airtable connection. We'll see. We'll see. Integration for now because I'm not sure which steps to follow. And I have other stuff to do. Let's, can you, can you unpublish? Let's see that. Let's just see if it let us, if I can unpublish the site. So I don't know that I have this option here. Which is an interesting thing. Like, how do we deal with this in the future if that was something that you accidentally did, aside from recreating the whole template, right? If I need to, I will demo this in another project template as well. I'll demo that part, I should say. Because let's do that. This is the fun things that happen when we are demoing live, right? You can see the real stuff that goes on. So this is the template that I am building everything from. This is the whole like thing. So let's use this for right now to show you how we're going to pull the information in from the Airtable. Unpublished. Top right, click publish. No, I don't have an option for that. Maintenance mode toggle, one-time code change. No. Okay. This is one of those like, I'm not sure it knows what to do things. Sometimes it will talk you through what you need to do. Plan to add maintenance mode. Add a maintenance clear offline message. No, we don't want to do a maintenance mode for the site. I want to unpublish it so I can unpublish or delete deployment. Yeah. All right. Cool, cool, cool. We know what we have, what our limitations are at this point. We're going to go back to the template, my template that I build from, and we're going to use this to demo adding in the Airtable here. Okay. Let's remix from here again. And I'm not going to include the project history. So when you're wanting to do your own remix of duplicate your template, you can just do this here. So I'm just going to rename this settings, just so I remember what it is. Rename project demo. That way I won't get mixed up with which one I'm in. And see how that is already, it's populating Amy's information. That would be because it is in my local storage, I think. So this will be interesting to see which, yeah, it's pulled up Amy's information, which is good actually. For the benefit of this, this is a good thing. So we are getting the information we want in here, which is fine for this demo purpose. It just might mean some other things won't work within this demo, but that's okay. I'm just talking through what's going on. Cool. So it's remembering this because it's on my local storage. Brilliant. All right, nice. Good work. So what we now need to do, I'm just go to the home page. Let's connect. Oh, still, hang on. We still don't have Supabase here. What the hell? Why don't I have that as a option? Okay. How weird. Weird, 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 weird. This might be a bug, actually, rather than something else. Okay, what I'm going to do, is show you how to set up the, I'm going to move this here so you can see me working on it. We're going to set up the Supabase. All right, we're just going to do this in a separate thing so you can see how this works. And I don't know why I don't have the option to do that. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to go lovable demo. Personal, free, we don't need to pay. Create the organization. This is in my account, by the way. I already have an account here. Oh no, the following members have reached match free plans. Okay. I'm gonna have to go into my account, I think. Where's my projects? No. Oh, it's there. Let's create a project here. What's happening? Following members have reached their maximum limits on the number of active free plan projects within organizations where they're an administrator or owner. Limit to 2 free projects. Okay. Um, which one? I think I'm going to delete this. Oh, I paused it anyway. I don't want to have to pay for it, but I might have to. What I might do is just use my existing Audio Summit. No, that would be problematic. That one I want to keep as well. So that's really interesting because I've obviously been telling you about how you can use Supabase for free, but you have limitations, right? And so the limitation is you have 2 projects, I guess, for free in your account. So for me to create a new one, I'm going to need to upgrade to Pro. Let's see if I can do that while we're on here. I'm going to take this off screen. I probably want to do that as the current organization, right? Just popping my information in here on a different screen. I'm purchasing as a business, ABN. Where's my ABN? I just have to pull up my ABN, which is an Australian business number for our international people. And it wants me to give it to it so I don't get, hopefully, maybe I will get charged GST. Okay, so it's going to be 35 US dollars a month. Fun times. I don't like that, but that's fine. I'll look at Crescent. Oh, lost that. Why won't you let me? Okay. Oops, I should be getting a code any moment. Oh, why'd that not work? What the hell? Oh dear, send it as an email instead because that didn't come through. Perfect. All right, let's upgrade this account so I can do this demo. Oh dear. All right, it's not going through. So we won't do Supabase today either. We're gonna just do our lovable, lovable and Airtable automation. Today we're going to connect that up. So let's just skip over those two and we'll do a different video for that. Copy provided Airtable base to your account. Have done that. Retrieve the token. Done it. Store the token in Supabase secrets. Well, it's not going to do that, but we'll see. I'm going to go back to here and see if it'll let me do it here. Store the Airtable token for my base in let's see if it'll let me do this. Oh, here we go. Now I can connect to Supabase. How interesting. I still will have a problem. That's so bizarre. I think there's a glitch going on because it's not coming up here as an integration, right? There's nothing happening. Um, So sensitive key API key detected in your message. Connect to Supabase first, then ask. I can't do that. um, Store there's I can't connect to uh, Supabase right now. Are you sure you want to send this message? We detect API keys in your message. Yes, in this instance, I'm going to send it because it's just a demo. I'm going to delete the token anyway after. For security, ask Lovable to manage your secrets instead of including them directly. Got it. Oh, send anyway. Let's see what happens. Oh, with this. There's a high chance that I'm going to have to do a whole nother demo just on this later and maybe not do it live. I'll add a secure temporary method, input and store your Airtable token in local storage, not in code. As I was saying before, lots of the times, all of this stuff is basically in local storage right now. And which I don't really know what that means. I think it's kind of like stored in your uh, like computer information, but it's not necessarily or stored in the code, I guess, of this site, but it's not necessarily something that's like when you publish it, it's not necessarily going to be displayed to everyone correctly because it's not storing in their local storage, which could be a completely incorrect assessment of what's going on, but that's my understanding. Um, and update our data fetching to use it. I'll create a small settings UI to paste the token and wire it into the Airtable fetch logic. Okay, cool. I think it's going to do what I want it to do. And then it will probably just ask me, I need to, tell it this is the host information. So the the way this Airtable has been set up is like for you to use this on a daily, regular basis and have quick views of things. So you can kind of just see where you're up to with certain speakers, like the different statuses that we have. Uh, have you started the interview? Is the interview ready to be edited? Is the episode complete? So this is an audio summit as a template. So your status is here, but what we actually are going to give it is we want it to, when I say it, I'm talking about Lovable and Supabase. I want it to read these two files or views, and then this third one is the dashboard information. So we have our summit and our summit host. As two separate views because we have this one. I'm going to get rid of that demo so we don't lose it. Go back to Amy's one. We have our host section separate from our speakers section. And now it's pulling in data from a previous summit. So that's weird. That shouldn't be pulling in that particular information. But you can see it's populating, right? It's just doing the wrong one. So I want to make sure that I gave it the right, I know I definitely gave it the right code. So we just need to check. I'm going to go back up here and say, can you, oh, dear. Token ID and base and pulling in the base data. from we're calling it this one. So I'm just going to grab this here, this base, and I want it, oh gosh, I want it to use this view. Use this view for the speakers and this view for the host. And I'm just copying the name so it's exactly the right one that I'm telling it to use, because right now it's yeah, it's populating from a different, like a live event that I've previously hosted, which it could just be pulling from my local storage, as I was saying before, rather than pulling in from what it should do. I'll add a secure layer, local only store. Item, okay. Go to setup guide securely. Okay. So it's created a Airtable token place in this template version that I'm using today. Cool. All right. That's interesting. That's good. So that's this here. If I was to refresh, I would see that. So that's cool. I like that it did that. We don't necessarily want this for your version because we're going to be using Supabase. We need to use that for the storage reasons, the security reasons. But this is good for today. Like this is good that, like it's saying, you can clear the token anytime it never gets committed or uploaded. And it looks like it's the right token. No, this is temporary. So Lovable does some smart stuff, right? It's figuring out how can I store this in a way that you as the user can like make adjustments. So if you didn't want it to make changes to your template in this way, you actually want to do it, have a chat with them rather than just going ahead and being like, this is what the problem is, fix it. And you can also cycle back. So see how at the moment I can't restore, but if I go back to a previous prompt, I can restore to the previous version of something if it's like done something and I'm like, no, 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 that's really bad. And you don't want to just be like, that was annoying, revert back. Go ahead and restore to where it was. Okay, so added the local to Airtable settings, one-click test setup guide. Paste your, yeah. Enter the base ID and table likely speakers. Keep those units and click test to convert. Refresh that. Oh, it's right there. I just saw it then. Enter the base ID. Okay, so base ID. Now this is the thing that I haven't covered yet. It's not here. It's actually this code here, I think, from memory. I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna pop this into the help desk information, help doc information, sorry, Airtable base ID. Because I forgot this, which is why we have all this information here through Airtable. So, all right, finding record IDs. It's not the record ID, I want the base ID. Base ID. Getting Airtable. Okay, I think it's in here. Okay, base IDs begin with app. Table IDs just begin with table, TBL, and views. Okay, so let's go back here. That's it. We want that code. App. So let's go back here. That's the app ID. The table name is, let's call it, table name's that. And speakers view, oh, hang on, table name is not that. It's table name is speaker submissions. Silly me. Speakers view, event. Was that what I just, yeah, cool. Event one, done. Save, test connection. I did that. Save your Airtable token first. Okay. This is so fun. Oh dear. All right, save token locally, save settings, test connection. No, go away. Speaker's okay, host okay. All right, let's see if it's in the thing. Where so you will need the base ID, like the app ID that I was just showing you before, and there we go. So we have Amy as the host there, which is somewhere else, and we're getting the populated information. It's just being a bit slow. Okay, it's pulling in the old stuff still for some reason. I go to dashboard. It seems to be pulling in. Yeah, it's pulling in the wrong data, but you can see how it could work, right? Um, it this is, I think, because of my previous uh event that I've hosted. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for you. All right, let's see. Let's see what else I need to check. So we need to check the day one. I think we're still getting that. Because we should have day one here, one person, and then, oh, we don't have day two. So let's change that to day two, and day one. This should be the order in which I want to see. I don't know why that's not ordering. Summit published day. It's called? Yes. Whatever. At this point, I don't know why that's not filtering, sorting the right way, but that's cool. So we're using the right, we've got the app ID. Ah, there we go. It's just being slow. Everything is set up as it should. Yeah, it's just pulling in the wrong info. That's fine, whatever. We will move forward on that. The information I gave it was correct. Pre-fill for you. All right, so let's tick off that we've set up the Airtable integration because it is pulling information in. It's just not the right one, but that's okay. Now we need to set up our email service provider. So we are going to go ahead and set up using my MailerLite as my email service provider. So we're going to need my API key and my, what's it called? What's it say? Form or list ID. So in this instance with MailerLite, that's the group ID. So we're going to go to integrations within MailerLite, and we're going to go to API. And we're going to create a new token just for today to demo that. And down here, I'm going to scroll down and we're going to use this group ID as well, the Lovable template demo as our group ID. So we're going to give that to Lovable. So we're going to go Lovable demo. And we're going to say all IPs allowed to use this token. You can limit it if you want, but we're going to do that. Create token. This is another one where we need to save it. So we're going to Airtable. We have our Airtable API key, and now we've got our MailerLite API key. Just noting this in my notes. You can download that if you need, but that's it. I've copied that, and then we've got it here. And then we'll go down and grab that group ID. Okay, so we have that as well. All right, so now let's go here. I have to now set up, what's the terminology we're saying? Okay, I'm going to just go configure, grab that, copy that. Configure MailerLite with my API key and group ID as follows. Again, you're going to see some code here, but it's a demo, so it's not a thing. You're not going to be able to use this. I'm going to delete this afterwards if you happen past it. All right, so what it's going to be doing is if there was a Supabase connection, it would store that as a secret in Supabase. It's probably going to do a similar thing where it's like, okay, you need somewhere to store this locally. I'm going to create this thing for you. And then it will, do the things in the background in order to have, when I go ahead and like test the waitlist and test the all access pass, sign up and the registration pass sign up, it's going to want to put that into a group. So it's going to push that information into MailerLite based on the API key, and it's going to add them to this group of people. All right. So it's working on this right now. As I said before, it's going to create a secure local storage and it's going to add it to setup guide. So that's cool. I'm happy for it to do that. It's a good way for us to, work on this without needing Supabase. I'll read the relevant files, waitlist, template, config, setup guide, Airtable helper, and implement the minimal changes. So I want to make sure that it's not missing out on the registration page because it's talked about waitlist, but I want to also make sure it knows that we need to connect the registration process to this as well. So I'm just going to keep that in mind when we get to that stage. So while we're doing that, what I need to check off next. Oh, what was that just popped up? I don't know. Affiliate tracking. So the next thing that we're going to do after this is we're going to test the thank you page process. So we're going to actually go through and like treat this like a live event and kind of like test everything works, right? So previewing this, we're going to go through this. This will populate in a second. It is currently still using the demo info. It should pick up that, but it's not. So whatever. Moving on. Yeah. Um, that's again the local storage issue, not the Supabase issue. If it was stored in Supabase, it would save as we want it to. All right. I'll wire MailerLite local. So here we go. We've got the API key now. To put this here. And the group ID is here. I'm going to save. Cool. Test connection. Failed to fetch. Okay. Um, Test connection. Failed to fetch. It's showing as failed to fetch when I tested the connection. Can you troubleshoot that? Oh wait, I set waitlist to use MailerLite. I also note that you are referencing to set the waitlist to use MailerLite, but we also need to set up the registration form as well for the same. Okay, let's see what it says here. I'm going to go back over here again. So what I wanted to test is the flow, right? So when I click here, it's going to ask me to fill out the information. And once it is resolving this problem for me, we can then test that the flow works and that each page goes where it's meant to, and that also we can check that where are we, subscribers, that the people are being added into groups, into this one, because the test, user needs to go somewhere, right? And yeah, and then we test that and check everything's working. All right, next step is affiliate tracking. That's what I was talking about before. So we would, if needed, add any affiliate tracking script. And I'm getting another notification to stand up. So some platforms need you to use a tracking script. Thrivecart, Samcart, Lemon Squeezy are ones that don't. I'm just going to pull up my docs and just really quickly point out that in the help docs, we have our options for affiliate tracking. So there's information on each of the types that I could, like that most people would use. The one that needs a script is Go High Level. So if you're using anything that's connected to High Level, like as a white label or otherwise, then if you're wanting to use that, then you need to follow these steps, and it's going to require you to grab the script and add it to the site. Whereas things like Lemon Squeezy, Thrivecart, you just set it up in your backend, you tell it this is the domain to use, and then it does whatever it needs to do based on these steps and what you would normally do. So I just wanted to flag that, this step is kind of like an optional thing if needed. And it's really the only ones that I've kind of come across is Go High Level where it's needed that. But I will say that there is the option of Go App Pro, which has like a whole like different custom install thing. So that would potentially be something similar. And there might be others that you use that you would need to explore for yourself. For me, I use Newsendler, and the only way I can track affiliate purchases is having my sales funnel, including the registration page set up through Newsendler. So there's certain pages that I have to redesign on Newsendler, and then certain pages are the lovable template. So there might be instances where you can't actually do this stuff within Lovable, but for the most part, most people are using like these sorts of software, and so you can kind of use that instead of the workaround that I've created based on my own system. So we're going to do that in a minute. I want to see what it's come back with. I'll fix the error and wire registration to MailOut to the file to fetch the MailOut CRF block from the browser. So I added a where something random. I don't even understand. Shows request sent when verification is blocked. Update the registration form to submit to MailOut using your saved. Cool, with automatic fallback to local storage if so. Yeah, best fix is to connect. Yes, I understand. We need to connect to Supabase. Try again and set up guide, then submit on. Cool. All right, test. Submit a test, sign up. All right, let's see. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Where's this one? This is the one that I was going to test on. So this is my preview. And we're going to test and make sure I'm in the right. Yeah, Amy demo. Good. We're going to hello plus test at breeboucher.com. Ticking agree, get access. Okay, we've got an error. So we've got an error on that one. Let's see if we get an error on the waitlist. All right, now while I'm here on this waitlist page, I want to let you know that you can change, it doesn't need to be required, the last name, and you can have first name and this be like a different field. So if you want to capture like someone's handle for Instagram, you could have that instead. So I just wanted to show you that that's an option in this too. So I'm going to go join inbox. Okay, so we're added to it's saying it's a success. We've navigated to the right page. So now I need to see, I'm just going to refresh and see if it came through. Okay, it's not popping up in MailerLite. Just going to check again. No, all right. So it's navigating correctly. It's just not doing things properly. So navigation worked for .waitlist, hash that waitlist, but I don't see the user email in MailerLite. And on the registration page, it didn't navigate, and we got an error message. Can you fix? All right. I'm going to take a minute to show you that it's using like credits and how much. So we're currently on I upgraded to a 200 a month just to get all this sorted. It's going to reset on the 17th unless I downgrade. And I started at about 40 something, like maybe I've used about 10 on this project just today with those conversations. You can see that in your project settings. So we have 12 messages count. I did 2 yesterday, so we have done 10 messages, and AI edits count. I'm not sure the difference here. I think that it's probably this is the changes, and then this is the adding in, including in the conversations. So I just wanted to like point that out to you as you're working on it. Just keep an eye on it. We started off the day with some free um, uh, coupons still, whatever they call it, messages and counts. Um, and then you have like 5 in a day, and then it uses your current like count of credits. And the other cool thing is you can see like it's using agent mode now as the way to track the um, like the conversations that you're having. And it's using like not a full credit each time. So depending on the complexity or the complexity of the actual issue, it will take more or less amount of issue, the credits that you're going to use. Okay. All right. So I'll fix both. Make the waitlist. Donate both forms to use MailOut with authorization bearer. Okay. Resave your MailOut API key. Okay, I will do that. All right, let's see. Did that. I will go now back here. Let's go back to this. Save your spot. Okay, you're in. Check emails for updates. That's a good sign. Let's see if it actually came through. Not yet. Not yet. Let's see if it comes through on the wait list. Added to wait list. All right, they're not coming through. Let's just check. Yeah, still no subscribers. Apply filter. So that is a fail, but I think it's because of it is trying to use the local settings, which is fine. Again, this Supabase stuff issue is going to be something I will figure out, and I'll do this whole demo section again. I guess the benefit of seeing me work through these problems and challenges is to see how I am resolving them, and it's through conversation with Lovable. So if I wanted to, continue this process and like get it to resolve it, I would get it to like do the next step. But we're going to keep moving forward because we have limited time. It's already 2 hours, and I want to make sure everything's covered. We're going to keep going and get into this affiliate tracking part. So what we're going to do now is give it the things that we need to do. So Amy's been amazing and has set up the where am I going? She's set up sorry, where am I? Where's my head? She has set up the Thrive Cart product for me. So what I now need to do is change these buttons and add that URL. So she's given me this is like the URL that I would use when I'm testing, and this is the actual product. So when we're creating this site, we've got certain pages where we can kind of have a call to action and have those, go through to the next step. With the thank you page, we have the option for like by default multiple tiers. With the waitlist, thank you, sorry, we have the option for just one upsell. And this is like, okay, you're on the waitlist and you now get, access to something at a lower price than something like it's kind of like a tripwire. And for the example, I'm going to use the waitlist thank you as the upsell because it's, just got the one button here. But if we went into the thank you page here and we wanted to change this from two buttons, we would just say change this design to one button and have the the information that you want it to say here, have the button redirect to this link. For the benefit of today, I'll keep going to that one. For the benefit of today and keeping this really not basic but straightforward, we're going to use it on this page and update it here. So let's pretend this is the one we're going to update. So on this page, now you can tell it like the page that you want it to reference by, excuse me, by telling it the one from here, like the actual name, hashtag / waitlist for hyphen thank you hyphen. But because I'm navigated on this page, we can just talk about it as we're on the page that we're updating. Can you add this link as the upsell call to action button? And remember, we have we're going to go over here to brand config. Remember, on this, we have our links. So we can also, change certain things. So waitlist thank you, it's going to go to that thank you page. And we can also have, you can also add in where you want the redirect for the call to action. So if that's something that you want to be part of like a future version, if we're going to update that, I might actually put in another form, not the help desk form, but another form for you to like make recommendations or suggestions on updates that you would like to see. So if that is something you want me to add in, like a call to action button in the redirect URL, then we can do that. But for the benefit of right now, we're going to just change it here and use the prompts to do that. So on this page, can you add this link as the upstart button? We need to also change the copy on the wait list exclusive card. So there's names for these in the back end. We don't necessarily know what they are, but sometimes they Lovable references this, like each sections and cards and things like that. So you can use the terminology to like ask it to fix things. If you're not sure what it's called, I tend to grab a screenshot just so it knows what part I'm wanting it to change. So you can add there. You can also use this edit button to go ahead and like edit sections and text and stuff and make quick changes to things as well. So that's another thing you can do. So we also need to change the copy on the waitlist exclusive card. See image. So to sell this all access pass, which includes, so we have lifetime access and a premium gift bag, and it's going to be $37 during the wait list, which includes lifetime access to the recordings and a premium gift bag. Expires. The price is during waitlist. So yeah, this is good. I think that's all I need to tell it. So it should then change these things here to what it is. You can be more descriptive with all of this information. It's just a really quick one for here today. But let's go ahead and change that. And then we can test that it's going to work through what it needs to. So what it's going to be doing is adding this URL to the product. So I'll show you the product just so you can see what we should expect when we click the button. Um, so this is just a demo thing again from Amy. So thank you, Amy, for doing that. Hey there, whoever joined us most recently, thank you for jumping in. You can of course come back to the replays later and watch this. But we're just kind of getting through a few little tweaks that we need to fix. But this is, yeah, what I'm showing you right now is the demo like bundle kind of product that we're going to be purchasing. And it says $37, but Amy's created it as $1 for me, so I can test this as well. And we're going to test this through the URL process of the using Thrivecart and purchasing the product that way. Okay, so it's working on this, it's editing, it's looking at all of this stuff for me. All right. Let's see how this goes. And I'm going to go through and check what we've been updating. And so what I might do is once it's played with that, I'm going to update one of these sections. So maybe the wait list, so you can see the kind of other things we can do. But we've given you a little bit of a preview of that with the thank you page. Still going. So if you're ever wondering what it's doing, you can like reveal the things it's kind of working on and how long it's taking to do certain things. And yeah, and you can set it up so it gives you like a notification on any changes. So if you're off screen, it can like notify you. And there's also a extension. I've just turned off my extensions for a minute, but we have this one from the creators are like Jason from Zook, who is from Wayne Unlimited. Uh, like that's his business. They've actually started moving away from that, and he's created this Lovable Buddy as an extension, which pops up. If I turn that on for you, I can then see, you know, that extension if I'm in a different page. So like I'm over here, this should work. I think that because I didn't start it before, but you get a little like icon so you can see it's working in the background. And then if you didn't have the sound notifications on, that would be something to keep in mind. Okay, so we've got here, get the all access pass, lifetime access to Summit recordings plus premium gift bag. Waitlist price is $37. Cool, lifetime access, premium. Yes, so it's filled out the 3 dots, and then this I can see, I don't know if it's really small in the bottom left-hand corner. As I hover over, it's picking up the price. No worries, Amy. Thank you for joining. I know it's been a long journey, and obviously you get to see the full demo when you can get a chance to catch the rest of it. Just had Amy let me know that she needs to head off, but we are good. Like everything's been working really well. So thank you for setting up what you have. As you can see and checking, like it's saying the offer expires on the 1st, but actually that's not the right information. So this is part of like the way that I've conveyed it. So in my head, you know, the product expires, like the bundle access to the bundle products expires, but actually this offer expires on when do we start? We had that. The offer expires when we open up, so on the 26th. 26th of Jan. So that's something just to keep in mind. I'm going to keep it as it is right now, but it's really good that we have that. You can also set it up to create its own little timer as well. So as you know, on certain pages, we have these countdown timers, which is going to load real quick for us, isn't it? We have our countdown timers like up the top, but you could ask it to set up a separate one with, on that dashboard as well. I just want to see. Yeah, cool. Um, so let's see where we're up to. Let's go here. We have added the affiliate tracking, sorted all of that. We're going to now see if the link transfers through when we you do the demo. And I'm going to test a sign up and see if the code goes through the checkout as well. So we know that the sign up's not coming through, like the subscriber's not coming here because of the way it's been set up, but we should be able to go ahead and test this and see that it comes with the affiliate. So it's just populating the base information at the moment here because it's not a published site in the way that everything's been saved. But we're going to test this and see that the affiliate link comes through. Awesome. Okay, good. And we have lost the ID here, but let's see if we do the waitlist one. So that's where um, the tracking purchase that I just set up is going to be going through. Oh, that's weird. Ah, interesting. Cool. That's awesome. So we have our referred by populating. So that is being tracked. Even though I can't see the affiliate link anymore, it's um, okay, I think we're back on. There we go. All right. I lost you for a minute there, but I think we're back. And I'm just going to keep recording. And think that my Fathom is just doing its thing. Cool. All right, good stuff. Back to where we're up to. So I was just saying before we got cut off that it is showing that it's being referred by my affiliate code, which is not something that I knew it was going to do. So I was very pleasantly surprised by that. I'm thinking that this waitlist one is set up properly, which is good that I'm using this as the test. But I need to also make sure that our registration page down here has a very similar kind of like flow that it's going to do that referral. I think that's good. I think that's a really good thing to have. And the other thing I'm just, thinking about as I'm doing this right now is that we need to have our privacy policy and like a tick box on the waitlist page as well. So just noting that for myself and for anyone that's sort of tuning in right now and thinking, oh, okay, we we're missing some stuff here. That is something that I want to make aware that I'm thinking about it too. So let me just share my screen again. I want to share this one. So what I was just saying, because I realized I wasn't sharing my screen, is that this here is a really, really cool thing to have, and I want it to be on the registration page as well. So I'll make sure that the version 1.2 is updated with that. And we're going to also make sure that we update the like a tick box and like you're agreeing to the privacy and terms and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead now and click join waitlist. Love this that we're still getting this referral note. Freaking amazing. I love when these like the fun little things are happening, which we didn't realize. And now we're going to go and unlock. Oh, this offer isn't enabled yet. Okay. I need to fix that. Updated card to sell. Yep. Offer coming soon. Exclusive offer isn't enabled yet. I'm getting a notification on this page when testing that the offer isn't enabled yet when I click the button because it's working here. It seems to be loading the button. Can you tell me why and fix this so that it's available to purchase immediately? Because I want to know why in case there's something in the setup. Sorry, in where am I going? In the like setup here in the branding config because it's potentially based on the dashboard start or something to do with the start dates. That could be why it's doing that. So yeah, but the button does link to where it's meant to. So that's good. I can see that it's linking. It's just not doing it in the demo, in the test, sorry. And here's that little what's it called? Chrome extension happening in the background so we can see what's going on while I'm, chatting with you in different places. But yeah, some really fun things. I love this. This is great. And make sure that that is updated in the registration page as well. And I'm going to check and see if that email came through. Still not sending it through. That's okay. That's all right. Next stage. So we're going to just keep moving through. And so one thing to note is that it might not pull in the affiliate like kind of slug that we are used to seeing, but we know that it is working because it's saying that referral was being made by this person. So that is a positive to see, right? And really the next kind of part of this is going through and populating the information. So this would be when you're going through and like getting that information populated through. So going through and adding the speaker information that you're going to want to come into the base, from the base into the page. And we're going to upload, headshots and stuff into the base so that things kind of like can come through, which could be the reason why we're getting this. So I'm going to use Amy's headshot for here, just for this example. And and then once that's done, taking a little bit of time, we're going to go here and using my headshot already. So let's also put in my image here. Open. And I could go ahead and like get some images from Unsplash, but for the benefit of today, we'll just use mine and Amy's images. Copy. Just trying to copy this down. Ooh. Cool. So sometimes So we don't have a freebie attached. So let's do that. Sometimes the things aren't populating the way they're meant to because the data isn't there. So I would just keep that in mind if you're getting dummy content still, that it could be because the information isn't there. I'm just going to chuck in random files for right now. Okay, this is done, I think. I'll put this search isn't enabled test, and so just and bit of terminology as well. That pop-up that we were getting before that was like it's not working is called a toast. So try and remember when you notice things like that, when it calls it something, we need to remember, okay, toast means da, 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 like this, and we need to reference that, or it's useful to reference it. Then it just makes it easier. You can still use your own like terminology and say like a pop-up came up or a notification. That's just something to note if you notice these sorts of things. Okay, so and any remaining to handle ensure code use a direct link with optional affiliate code. When I update I remove the off check and make the code option open directly. Done. Yeah, so it doesn't really have a reason why that happened. I think it just was set up to do that for some reason, and now it's not. So we're going to refresh this. And let's see if this works. Okay, let's do this again. We're going to go here. Actually, we're going to go and make sure we use the URL. Let's move through this again. It should still be cookied, which is good. Now let's go to waitlist. We've got that referral, which is awesome. And then we're going to go down here. Okay, we still got that pop-up. It didn't fix it. Still didn't fix. I might need to publish it. That'll probably be the reason. I'm going to publish because I'm not using a preview link. So see how this has got preview hyphen hyphen, and this is just the page. Because I've published the page, I need to publish all the changes that I'm making. Because that is, I didn't notice this before. This is using a default thing, right? That's the reason for that. Published, done. Okay, now let's use this link again. I'm just going to go straight to the waitlist page this time. It's going to go. Oh. Referrals coming through. Done. Okay, there we go. Now I see the problem. Okay, so that is now pulling through. Affiliate links showing up still. And then let's test this. And we'll see if this will let me let's test free voucher. Oh, I could spell. Where am I? I'm in New South Wales. 2536. All right, let's see. Let's see if we've got a dollar on this card. No? Okay. See if PayPal will let me do it. $1.60. I'm using my phone, so it's not easy for me to transfer cash into a card while I'm on. Okay, that's worked, I think. and it's redirecting. Amazing. So what would happen is you could then have it redirect from like Thrivecart or wherever to to a different page. You could have a button here to say this is now going to go to the next page in the process. So if this was the waitlist process that we want it to go to, we want this to now go to dashboard, right? Because they purchased the All Access Pass. So from a flow perspective, this page should have a button that then accesses this page, right? And yeah, and then you can kind of test that that all works. If it was on if the purchase came through this thank you page, then down here was going to somewhere, then you're going to need to like have some other flow logic because you can either have it go to the dashboard, or you could have it go to like a thank you page which has like a video or something like that. However you want that flow to happen, you go, button goes to the checkout, checkout then flows to the next page, and that could be within the system or outside of the system, I guess is what I'm sort of saying here. But that worked. We are happy with the affiliate tracking. It's recorded it. It's passed through. So that is a tick. Yay, we can tick that one off. We still have ESP to like nail down. Airtable is done, but it's just pulling the wrong data at the moment. Supabase we know we're struggling with before. So the next thing is the speakers, which I was saying, we're just populating the information, and you would go in and just making sure that like all the stuff's come through. This is like the way this base has been set up is that people fill out their forms. So we would have the application form, people would fill that out, and that data that goes into the expressions of interest or application. So when someone fills out a form, it goes here. Then we have our submission form. So I've got one version for when there's no bundle and another version when there is. And the reason for that is there's additional like questions basically. So you would decide which one, and the flow that works, it then picks up the name of the person here and connects it to, their profile. So we've got all these things hidden, but you can see the submission status. This is referencing the expression of interest form. So some of that information is populating through, and therefore there's not actually a lot of things you would need to personally like update. The things that you would be updating in this in this base is stuff like the embed, for Hello Audio or otherwise, and the episode duration here. That is a manual thing as well. It's not being pulled by anything. And then obviously you can manually manipulate the information here and see what comes through, have the freebie link come through, the website link and stuff. I'm sorry that let's go here. Taiwan. Sorry that this data is pulling in from another Airtable base. I think that it's just getting its wires crossed, and we're redirecting because this is the version that has that happening. So in the setup guide, in the brand config, we would need to go ahead and make sure that those things that we set up is actually the parallax image isn't there. That's why that's not being saved in the publish settings. This isn't being published as well for some reason. So we'll fix that in the next template release. But what I was just saying was that, yeah, these things are manually updated. in your template, but everything else should pull over and pull in the correct Airtable information for you. Okay, so what's next? Let's just go through. Add speakers, happy with that. So we need to configure our all access page. So that would be going through and where are we? Going into the dashboard and making sure that the way that the information you're conveying here is what you want it to say. So if you want to have the podcast app set up instructions here, then you would do that in your daily pages. So all of this from the drop down comes from day 1, day 3. But if you want to change like these titles, you might want to, and this information, you might want to do it from this page. And if you want to change where this is populated from, you can either manually like update this, or you can ask it to link to this table. So this view, sorry, I should say. So if we do this now, let's see if we can get something happening. All right, so I would like to change the table, the implementation week schedule to pull in information from this Airtable view based off the previously provided Airtable base and table. I think that's the terminology. We have base, table, view. Yeah. So let's say that's the table. Let's just give it that. And the base is that app. Whoops, I keep going to the wrong place. So pull in the data from this view, hold and change the, now let's just make sure. We need to say which day. So let's say that's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. So let's say that like the implementation week is mapped out that way. And let's just use a dummy link for right now. And what else do we need? Okay, I think that's it. Let's just pull that information down to copy and change the daily daily themes to the following: day 1, building blocks, let's call it that. Day 2, grow strong. I don't know what we're saying here, but this is just for a test. Day 3 is market strategy. Let's say that. And okay, we don't have a day 5, so let me just change it to 4 in this example. And day 4 is called next steps. All right, so that's what we're going to change in here and see if that populates for us. and then you just manipulate as it kind of comes back. So in the previous, when I've set this up for myself, I set it up with like saying I wanted to have like an image for each speaker that is presenting on this implementation day. And I have like the information of the title, the name of the person, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see how it sets this up just by its own kind of thought process. The other things you can change here as well, like anything really, change anything, but you can just map out where you want certain things to go. And then this is a another call to action, like upgrade. So let's say while they're doing the all access pass, you want them to after that, you want them to actually join your membership or your course or a mastermind or something like that. So that's where you would build in this. And so this is just like a holding space, like a demo thing, and then you can update that yourself from there. So there's one of those on the daily pages as well. As you'll see here, we have this at the very bottom, the continue your journey, and that is actually, selling the all access pass. So we don't want that, obviously, on our all access pass. We want a different call to action. So yeah, that's what that is doing. Okay, so that's still going, it's still working through. Setup guide. And then set up the waitlist and thank you pages, which we've kind of done already. Like we've kind of jumped a bit about where we're going to go. Test the end-to-end waitlist, which we've been playing with. We test that. We test that the sign up appears in ESP, which is not doing right now, but the affiliate code is working. So we can say that's pretty much done. And then this would be where we would go back and just check or update those countdown timers, the things that I did earlier on, and make sure that they're all good. And basically this allows you, to have the event present live as it is. And then if you want to resell it or re-promote it as an evergreen event after the fact, you can then just change the timeline window from that, from like the live version to the evergreen version, which is cool. Redirect rules, we already talked about as well, and going through and making those changes. So that's in the brand config. These links here, making those changes as you need to. All right, so we need to go through and do the full journey, which we've sort of done already. We've signed up with the waitlist test. We've done a registration test. You want to make sure that your emails are getting captured and that the delivery emails are happening as well from your software based on the workflows you've set up. We want to check that it's tracking what we need to do with the affiliate, which we have. Checking that the speaker pages are doing what they need to and that the freebies are linking, the information is coming through properly. We want to check the all access checkout link, which we have done. So I did it with a $1 checkout code, set up, but you can set it up with a coupon as well, if you want to do that. And then lastly, we need to, check that it's all going to look and work in mobile. So once you, before you publish, you can preview this on your phone, but you can also look at it from the different views here. So this little toggle takes you from mobile through to desktop and iPad as well. So you can just check if everything populates as you want it to in that as well. Okay, we lost it again and we're back again, I think. So let me just start recording over here as well and make sure that Fathom is doing what it needs to do. Where are we? Just need to give Feather my password. Just give me a second. Sorry, team. Okay. That's done. Records joining. We're going to go speaker. Pin me. There we go. Approve. There's a few little steps here. Done. Okay. Let's go back to this one and show you what I was working on. So, but just before we lost connection, I think I might have shown you that the daily information came through, but it's just saying details coming soon. So it's saying that it's not able to like fetch the information because of the Supabase. Like it's not through Supabase because it's not there. And I think, you know how I was talking before about the data being pulled from a different Airtable. I think it's actually picking up the my Supabase and it's connected to Supabase, but it's picking it up from a different account. So I think I'm actually am connected to my Supabase account, but through the other delivery methods that I've previously done. So I just think that's really strange. Just wanted to mention that, and yeah, that it's not we're not kind of like getting the results we want here, but you can see how things can change. Okay, so it's saying it's editing to add schedule to support our edge function. Read the base. Okay, to update to load. All right. I can't see those changes populating on the dashboard. Can you check that the Airtable records are pulling through correctly? Do you need to set up a temporary local storage option in the interim? All right, let's see how this goes. See how this part plays out, hey? Otherwise, we're happy with like the mobile view, I think that works. And then you would essentially from this point on, you would go ahead and if that was all happening, if everything was working as we wanted to, we would go ahead and turn on the analytics tracking. So automatically, I'll show you in here. Automatically, we're already tracking analytics. So where is it on here? I think it's in domains. Somewhere in here. Maybe it's in here. It's meant to be up here. There's your analytics. It used to be in settings, but it's now showing up there. So we can see, you know, the visitors, which is just me doing stuff on the page, but you can use the lovable information to do all this. But I would recommend that you actually go ahead and hang on, behind the page. Go ahead and set up different tracking. So Fathom is one. Google Analytics is obviously the main one. You can also use other tools like all in one. So for me, I've been playing with Metricool, and that has ability to track my analytics for my website as well. So I can set it up to track a particular site and the domain and stuff like that. So, using that would be really useful. Making sure that the links are working in the footer, and everything in there is correct that you want it to do. So checking that that's linking where it's meant to. And what else? Um, do you social promo of everything you need to do on the front end to promote the event, checking that things are working with your waitlist first, and then checking with your, publishing it for everyone outside of, your waitlist and making sure everything's going. It's good to get a wait list of people to sign up as almost like a test state to see that everything's working as it should. And then you can then release it to the public and get the speakers to actually promote from that point onwards. And then you just need to monitor things and make sure it's all happening, checking your subscribers are coming through as they should, all that sort of stuff. All right, let's go back here and see what it's doing. First, inspect the edge function that serves. I'll check the APA response. Schedule request is hitting edge function with type equals schedule, but return to speaker's payload earlier, likely an older deployment. I think this is a problem because it's not connected to Supabase where it's meant to be. I added a client-side fallback that uses the schedule from the edge function where available, otherwise loads cached schedule from local storage. Otherwise derives a schedule from speakers flagged for implementation and catches it. Now the implementation week should populate instantly. Okay. Let's see if there's something I need to do in, wasn't in here, it was in settings, wasn't it? Oh, we've lost that part of the setup. Oh no, it's in the setup guide. Never mind. I'm here with you. I'm following. It's been a couple of hours, so we're getting here. All right, so it's got the token for Airtable. It's got the base, it's got this speaker name. So let's ask it to add. Can you add in on the setup guide the implementation view like we have already for speakers host, so we can test based on this local storage option. So basically what I've just asked it to do is, knowing that this is, meant to work for the benefit of this test, this demo, we're going to also ask it to add in like a section for me to tell which view for the dashboard, the implementation. But otherwise, if this doesn't work or it's not populating the information that I want it to do, and it's because it's using this demo, I'm going to probably finish this live stream, this very long live stream, and take this as this is what we've kind of been working on so far, and then build from this the additional like resources that I need to record and the additional elements that need to be tweaked. And so potentially, like I said before, there might be a different version that needs to come out with some of these, resolutions. And I'm going to figure out what's going on with Supabase because, like I said before, earlier on, many hours ago now, we should be able to use, have that come up as the option. So yeah, there's potentially just something going on, something quirky, right? Um, yeah. So we're just waiting for this to do its thing here. See if we can get some changes to the dashboard. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's pulling in something here. Loads from day one, recoding your confidence. Let's see if that's the right. Yeah, it's pulling, it's so weird. It's pulling in that old, the other, this is, my last speakers in my last summit. This is the information that it's pulling in. So strange. So strange. So it's just I think it's just my local cache. That's why it's pulling in from here rather than, grabbing the stuff that I want it to. And I think this all just comes back to the problem that I couldn't set up Supabase to start off with. So I guess this is like a lesson in the fact that we need to have Supabase set up from the very, very start, and get it kind of like working as it should. So from this offline, what I'm going to be checking, yeah, so we can see that now. That's populated, which is populating something. It's not populating the right thing. But the way you would then redesign this is say, great, now pull in the headshots for each speaker in a circle to the left of their um, implementation session. That's not how you spell implementation, but I don't care. So I'm basically asking, now let's do a little headshot here of each of the speakers, and then this pushes over to the side, which is really like a basic instructions. And we just see how we go with, providing that information, if that's enough. So yeah, this is like how you go ahead and change the content in here on any of the pages. You're really just talking with Lovable to set it up, and where possible, it's going to pull in from Airtable if you ask it to. Otherwise, you would go ahead and like make those edits on specific sections. So instead of saying recoding confidence, we ask it, or this one, we ask it to change the title here. If implementation week is not the right terminology, you would change that by just doing that quick change, and it won't use that much of it won't use a lot of your credits versus if you're asking it to, modify a chunk of stuff at the same time. So it's up to you. Do you want to change like this, and this, and this in one chat? Or do you want to just change things as you go along? So that's now working through and thinking about how it's going to create the information. And yeah, I think otherwise, let's tick those off. We've launched it. And I'm going to, as I was saying before, check in, see what's going on with Supabase holistically, like within the whole Lovable system, because it could just be some sort of problem with the the integration right now and yeah, resolve this for you. And then we go from there. So this would be where the image is. And there you go. You can see it's pulling in. And they like, make it bigger, like 5 times the size, because you don't really know the size of this. Or you could ask it, what's this size? And then like, what's the pixels? And then tell it to like increase from like 200 pixels to 300 or 500 or whatever that works. Um, and then you're going to need to like explain that you want a little button underneath it and that sort of stuff. So this would be how you could really easily change this from having you copy and pasting the information to adding in little features here and there that you feel like are necessary for this. So assuming this was a bundle, you would have a little option to do that. Now, as I said at the very start, if you purchase the bundle extension pack, that's being worked on this week and probably will come out with the version 2 that I'm going to be working on from today. The stuff that I've highlighted today, and they'll come out by the end of the week with their own separate accesses. So you'll have access to just the Summit site, and then the bundle extension will have its own. And so there'll be additional like elements that you can do. So you don't have to do this whole like thing and rework the implementation schedule system. You can then pull in the bundle version if you want. Yeah, so that's that. What else? The other thing is if like you're looking at all of the issues, the challenges that I was having today with the like getting the Supabase thing to work or not work, getting Airtable connected and pulling that information through. If you're like looking at that and going, I see what you're doing here, Bree, and I'm sure I could figure it out, but that's going to take me hours and it's something that your brain just doesn't want to figure out. Then I'm still doing implementation like site setups. They're $97. I'm probably not going to change the price on that for the next little while anyway. Whilst the price of the template is increasing from today from 59 to 98, and the bundle extension pack is going to be increasing from 27 to yet to be determined price. Once that's live, I won't change the price for right now on the setup system like implementation session. So if you want to do that, I will make sure to include in the information below here in this video and in follow-up emails and stuff, the link to actually grab that so you can get me to do the stuff. So I can kind of battle with Lovable and figure out why Supabase isn't connecting and why this and that and the other isn't happening. And usually that will be something we can do over the course of like get it done within a week. But if you can let me know when you sign up, there's like a form, an intake form. Once you sign up, you let me know what timeline we're working with. I can then prioritize people as need be. And what else? What else? There was something else I was going to say around that. Oh, the other thing is if you're going to be using Lovable as like on the free plan, so you won't get the ability to have a custom domain on free. But and the other thing is you're going to be just limited to the 5 daily credits. So if I'm implementing the setup for you, then we're going to just need a little bit more time for me to be able to do all the things I need to do within the 5 credits, because I think that the 5 credits will probably get me 1 to 2 things done. If there's, issues with the connection like I was dealing with today around Supabase, then I'm going to need more credits to have the conversation and get it sorted out. So just letting you know that it might be something that, if you have a paid Lovable account, it could be something I could get done and get sorted for you. But if you have a free account, then it might just take a few more days for me to actually use your credits and get that sorted for you. So I think that is everything I needed to cover off. And yeah, I can see that we've got Angelique joined me right at the end here. So yeah, still going strong. I don't know that I could say strong is the right word because my throat is killing me, but we are here and I think we're about to yeah, figure out stuff. Just looking at some of the comments that I might have missed throughout the live stream. Brenda said earlier on, I can't see when this was, that she likes how I'm running into hiccups with like the logo size so we know what to do. Yeah, that was like the first hiccup for me today. So you're definitely getting a true reality of what's going on. And yes, thank you for, the people who have joined me in and out of today. And hopefully this has been really interesting to see, I guess, the very beta version of what this template looks like and how just each iteration, each time that I kind of like create the this with people and set up things for them, we might start to pull up little quirks that I need to fix, and that will just mean okay, I need to produce a new template version, and just that's just something that will happen in these early days. That's why we do the beta price so that we can kind of like get all those things ironed out, and then later on it's more of a set and forget and you're sorted process. So yeah, thank you to everyone that invested early on and signed up for this during this stage, and yeah. I'm excited to see what you create with your summits and how I can kind of like help you produce those in the most beautiful, easeful way. Cool. All right. I'm going to finish up there. I think we all need to have a bit of a break from the computer and watching me talk and like play with stuff. So I'm going to head off and yes, I will see you in emails and all of the places, maybe another video, a few more short videos for each step that we did along the way. And yes, looking forward to chatting soon. All right, let me get my, let me turn off my live stream and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.